let's go back to a little bit of woodworking. So back some time ago, I decided to make a gaming table for a gentleman that really wanted to make one. I've been working with wood for quite a few years, and I put together a really nice gaming table, and that's the one that I did the video on, with a bit of a touch on rising sun and how it fit in the table perfectly, and the table turned out beautiful. It was great. Well, I just had somebody compliment me on that table. It mentioned that they're looking to making a collapsible table. So I decided to do a quick little video. It's going to be quick because I didn't really do any video photography on how and when I made it, because it was a job that I was doing for a person that owns a gaming store, and I made him 4 collapsible tables, right? That for him, it's for gaming with, miniatures and big battle scenes, recreating historical battles to Warhammer to all that kind of stuff. And they have felt battlegrounds and everything that go down over top of the table, so they didn't need to have felt tables. But he did need to have them so that they're collapsible, so that he can take them and go down to 2 tables or 3 or 4, and also to have storage underneath them as well, to be able to store his bins of, just sheer mass amounts of buildings and all kinds of crazy painted stuff that they have. It's really, really neat. I made 4 tables, all identical. They had to be so that they're perfect when they line up, so that it would be like one big long table when all of them are put together. It turned out really good. It's actually, if you want to build one of these tables, it's really not that expensive. I used mainly 2x4s, a little bit of hardware in order to make things swivel and move, right? Obviously some nails, obviously some finish, and a bit of sanding, so sanding paper, and stuff like that. And a nice one-side piece of plywood, which actually served for both the shelf on the bottom and the top, because the tops were made to be 6 feet by 4 feet wide, while your average sheet comes 8 feet by 4 feet. When I cut off the 2-foot piece, that actually served as the bottom shelf underneath. Everything else generally made with 2x4s and just a little bit of craftiness, I guess you can say, on making them not really look like 2x4s, with all the machines and all of the things that I used. Anyway, let's show some pictures, and I'll give you an idea of how these things went together. So one thing I did spend a bit of money on is I went and got myself a plank of some oak, so I can cut some small thin strips, about 1/4 inch, so I can create a border around each of the tables. So this here is to strengthen the corners as I did these laps, and it gives it a nice sharp straight edge. Now with some 2x4s, I start cutting and creating the bottoms, and you'll see that there's one side's longer than the other, and that's because you have to have your table legs one fold inside the other. So here I am screwing everything down, and as I screw them down, I'm also putting little dowels in, covering every screw, sanding them down, and you don't see any of them. I created these to go out to the edges and the corners to also support the weight and keep it rigid, so that when you flip this over like so, it keeps it nice and straight, because we need these tables to line up with each other. Now here is the legs. I used my disc sander and whatnot to make them round so that they roll. Started to stain them as I got them all together here. Right, here's with the next coat. Here's the legs, and you can see how I rounded them so that they can roll. And here it is, legs down, legs up, down, foldable. And then there's a board that goes into the bottom, which also supports the bottom shelf. And the bottom shelves are like these here. You see there's notches because the inside legs are actually closer together than the outside ones. In the end, here's the 4 tables. Everything's all stained, ready to go. Now it's time to ship out to the customer. Getting everything into my trailer, nice and easy to move because they fold up. And I think they look pretty sharp. And here's all 4 tables, all lying down some horse blankets in my trailer, ready to go. And here it is set up. There's with all the shelves into the bottoms. And when they're all connected, it looks like one big long table. Beautiful sight. Customer is quite happy. You know, he could take down any one of the tables. He can make it a shorter game. You know, he can have a really long game, right? And I think they look fantastic. Everything is easy to pull apart because the bolts for everything, they're all with wing nuts, right? So it's easy to collapse them and put them off to the side. And overall, they turned out fantastic. So again, if you like what you see, please hit that like button, subscribe, share, you know, and if there's anything else you'd like to see, just let me know, right? I probably already have something, and if not, I'll do it. And of course, thanks for watching.